G'day, welcome to An Actor Talks. This is number 10. Wow, time is flying, that's for sure. Now, just before we get started, I have some great news about actors talk about themselves. I had a wonderful message from Michelle, who's been a great source of ideas for this series. I'm going to expand it a little bit, not just to actors, but to talk to other people in the industry, creative people, maybe people involved in The Hobbit, the real talent, the people who create the world. So a lot of the crew. So that's going to be coming up probably in the new year. I don't know what to call it. So if you've got any great ideas, actor talks to crew or actors talk to other people, or I'm not really too sure. But send me some ideas. And if I use it, I'll send you something. I don't know, a sign thing. So it'd be great to have some input on that. Also, next week I'm due to record another Actors Talk About Themselves. I won't tell you who it is until I've actually got it in the can, and then I can start promoting it. And that's I still want to keep those rolling, but I'm looking to expand it into other things. And the other thing is, I keep saying I want to do is to do a few more specific acting vlogs. Just some ideas. So keep your questions coming about anything specific about acting. Anything specific you'd like to know. If you wanted to make your own films or write short films, or audition, for commercials or TV shows, or if you wanted to start acting classes or get into it, anything at all. Just feel free to ask me, because that gives me good information to do these vlogs. Look, what I'm going to talk about today, though, because I've had a few questions from people about how I actually do these vlogs and how I go about, doing the interviews. I mean, one of them was, how long was the actual interview with Graham? How much did I edit? Short answer was I didn't edit it much, because I like to keep it as natural as possible. The whole idea with my interviews, it's like two friends talking, and that's sort of how I set it up. I interview people who I know. But if I do interview someone and I want to cut something out of it, I'm recording, actually, I'll get back to this shortly, but I'm recording on something that we call Final Cut Pro. Now you can see it here. I'm just going to get out of that window. Here are some of my other ones. That's me doing my push-ups. Oh, which, by the way, I'm actually doing my push-ups. Jed challenged me 22 push-ups, 22 days. I'm alternating between push-ups and arm stuff, because I don't want to bugger up my shoulder, which I've done before. Anyway, getting back to this. Final Cut Pro, I record everything in here and I edit. Now, that's all very well and good, because I've had a bit of experience in this, but essentially Final Cut Pro, for those who don't know, is like an expanded version of iMovie. And which is probably one of the reasons why a lot of people are going to Final Cut Pro now, who are learning, and why a lot of people who are professionals in the industry are not using Final Cut Pro, because it's maybe a bit too simple, and things like Adobe and Avid offer a lot more features. So, but for me, this is perfect. So that's where I do the editing in. How I record, I'll get to see. I'll drag this up, and anyone can do this if you've got a computer. I've got phone booth. Everyone's got a little a camera on there, and what you can see there, that's an iPhone 6. That's what I do most of these on. I did have another camera, which I'm having a bit of trouble with. It's a bit old. It's HD. But to be honest, the quality of the picture from the iPhone 6 is better than pretty much anything I've used. So we go to this camera again now. So you can see that's just on a little stand, and that's on a tripod. And the tripod was what I used to, film my big camera. That's what I use. I use the iPhone 6, and I use the tripod. Now, if you're looking from that camera there, you can see that little thing there. I'm just going to swing this around. That is a microphone, as you can see. And that microphone, if I go, you can see it. It's actually coming up, if you look at that camera, it's recording into a thing called Pro Tools. Now, Pro Tools is it's a professional recording system, but it's very easy to use. And getting back to this camera again, you can actually see I've got my microphone set up. I've got a little, I don't know if you can see that there, that's called an audio interface. And so that audio interface, basically it brings power to the microphone, because this microphone needs power. And then what I do is I essentially match up the sound and the vision by doing this at the start of my interviews. That's just a clapperboard. So that's what they do it. They do a clap. So then the editor has a starting point for each scene, so they can basically link and sync the sound and the vision. So that's basically all I use. That's my system. And the reason I use this is because I use this particular microphone for a lot of voiceover work. The microphone, the interface, and everything. It's been to HobbitCon. That microphone, I did a voiceover for Mark Hadlow at the last HobbitCon. This iPhone, I did an audition for a TV show in Australia called Rosehaven. Actually, that's on, and I ended up getting a role on that. So, you don't need to spend too much, and quite possibly what you've got is going to be enough. It's easy for me because I did sound for 10 years, so I know what sound I want and I can configure it. If you're not a technical expert, find someone who is, one of your siblings, little brother, little sister, older brother, older sister, friends, cousins, best friends. Someone will know how to work it and will be keen, and maybe they want to experiment and they need an outlet. So, that's worth trying. But I guess it all goes back to that, just create stuff for yourself and, keep producing things. So anyway, that's my little lesson on sound and vision. I could talk about audio for probably 4 hours, but that will bore you to tears. So look, next time I'll get into some more acting questions. Again, if you've got any questions about acting, make sure you let me know, and I'd love to answer them. That's what this thing's about. You ask me questions, I'll answer them. So I think that's a good plan. And look out for Actors Talk About Themselves. Don't forget to go to the website, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've got plenty of stuff on there, and of course all the updates on social media as well. Look, that's it from me. It's a Friday. It's beautiful outside. I'm going to go outside and water the veggie garden. So have a good weekend. See ya.
Yeah, nah, sweet.